Open the windows, a little hot stuff in here.
It's a
Well,
good call. I should open my windows. Oh, well, too late now.
everybody's open your window. Who cares? Nobody gives a shit about the first 10 seconds of this podcast.
God damn it.
Damn it,
God.
damn it, Robert.
Well, it's a muggy day here. That's why we're talking about opening windows. Wait, by the way, so you guys have iPhones. Did you guys get that weird weather status today? There was
No.
it said the status on the, like, if you looked at the weather and on my watch too, it said hazardous, unhealthy. And I'm like, what the hell?
That's
I'm like,
that
hazardous,
Chicago air.
yeah, so I thought, like, at first, because it's got a heart monitor on the watch, I'm like, oh my God, I'm dying. I'm like, oh my God, hazardous unhealthy. What happened? What is it? Is it registering my heart rate low? Am I dying? But then I was like, man, what the fuck? So then I talked to the guy that sits next to me at work, and he's like, man, you see the weather thing on the iPhone today? I'm like, oh shit. So it's not just me. I'm not dying. You guys didn't see that today? It was
No,
crazy.
I saw it.
No.
Hazardous unhealthy.
That was the story. There's
Well, yeah, it was a story. That's an odd status to put on as a weather
yeah,
update.
but what was the conclusion?
The conclusion
That Trent's
was
still alive and we're fucked.
right that I am not. It wasn't my heart rate monitor saying that from
No,
the iWatch.
But why did that happen?
Because the air outside was apparently registering as unhealthy and hazardous.
I think it.
Plus
I think.
consumption.
I
What is
think
that?
it was just a bug, and they realized everybody living in any rural or not rural, any city area is fucked.
We're fucked. We're fucked. Well,
Is this staying on the podcast, or are we
What?
starting over again?
no, we're keeping this. People can talk about the weather. That's the most common bullshit everybody talks about. Oh, nice weather out there, huh? Oh, jeez, what about this rain?
It's
Oh,
raining. It's raining on my Pokemon Go app.
You play that
Hell yeah,
It's
I'm playing it
my-
right now.
still?
I always, dude. Do you know who's a huge Pokemon Go player?
Brian.
Nah, no. Well, yeah, Brian is, but
Not anymore, though.
Madman Fulton,
Get out of here, really?
huge Pokemon fan.
Just killed the
Huge.
character. You just
Killed the
ruined
gimmick. I just killed it.
It was ruined that guy.
Yeah, all 16 people who listen to this podcast are gonna go to him.
They
Yeah,
there
it's
was
up to 16 now.
Yeah, dude, we were sitting at 15 for like 3 months,
Get the fuck out of here.
and then somebody
I'm not letting
accidentally
you
hit
bury,
subscribe.
I'm not letting you bury the amazing counts we've had.
Someone accidentally subscribed.
There was a big Pokemon Go convention downtown Chicago last week. It was like they're all running around the Grand Park for
Yeah, I
2
don't
days
do
straight.
I don't do that.
Well, that being said, welcome back, everybody, to the Backstage Boys podcast, episode number 37. This is Trent Law, my co-host.
Basil.
We're joined by Rob Malinowski once again. Rob, say hello to these people.
Hello, everybody.
Rob, you're a celebrity now. You're a big shot. Let's talk. I'm gonna dive right in. This
Big
is
time movie guy.
Come on, man.
this is Memorial Day. The pool just opened. I'm diving right in. Okay, that's how we're doing this. All right. So Rob, we had a big
Memorial
week.
Day was like 3 weeks ago.
That's what I'm saying. But, like, you know how people dive into the pool. And pools open on Memorial Day, and we're getting right in. It was a reference. Okay, it was a reference. All right. But anyway, focus on Rob here. Rob is the star. Rob, you're the star right now. We're gonna talk about this. Okay, so big week. We had the premiere of, and then there was King, the Eddie Kingston story, directed by you. That premiered on Monday, didn't it? Monday the 17th.
Yeah. Yeah, the 17th.
Huge premiere, very successful thus far. In just a few days, it's been a very big. Got a lot of buzz. Your name's got a lot of buzz. I mean, your phone's ringing off the hook. You know, I know.
It's not
And
true.
you told me today you had a missed call from Stanford, Toronto, and Baltimore. I was like, man, this only 3 things that means. You know?
All scam telemarketers.
But people are really, this thing took off, Rob. I want to just have you talk about it. You know, many people listening have either seen it or not seen it. So let's talk about it. Let's get into why you did it. What was the motivation behind it? And I'll ask you other questions.
Well, since I started doing just film work in general for wrestling, for independent wrestling, I always wanted to do a piece on Eddie Kingston.
Why? Tell us why it is.
And the reason for that is because I always felt like he's like one of the best storytellers in the game, past and present. I mean, the way he captivates you by just words. He doesn't even have to be in the ring, you know what I mean? And when he's in the ring, he does a great job of doing some these little nuances. I think I've mentioned in the past podcast where like, the one his match in the Windy City Classic against ACH when he won, just like the little things of like, just yelling like you should have, I thought you're going to be the one because like he thought, that he's going to end his career and you know what I mean? So like
Mm-hmm.
just like the little things he does in the ring and outside the ring that just really adds layers and depth to his character. It's really phenomenal. So with this film that I put together and actually Eddie played a big part in collaborating and getting this to so that it's perfect. So I my hat's off to him for being awesome to work with. It just you know we're just tapping into a little piece of the whole Eddie Kingston story. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to do the whole 17-year breakdown, but that could be an hour and a half. But just for the sake of try to keep it within the AEW world, we wanted just to kind of show what who Eddie Kingston is and who Eddie Moore is.
Nice, nice. So now So Basil, you and we've seen Eddie kind of since from his debut in AEW, early days and all that, and just kind of up till today. So, Rob, did you follow Eddie before you worked for AEW, or did you like even know who he was basically, or what?
Well, I went to my first show in man, when was that? I think it was 2015. And he was it was either 2015 or 16 when he was in a match against Trevor Lee, and I didn't really know who they were, but that was the match I still remember when I left. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I forget like Eddie got on the mic and kind of put Trevor over because I think Trevor was relatively new to AEW and they had this long great match and that's like me and my buddy walked away. We're like, man, that was awesome. So that was like the start of like where I started like noticing that kind of storytelling from Eddie.
Nice, nice. Basil, you remember that match? I don't remember what show that was.
Oh, I can't even remember. I can't even remember the show from last week.
Yeah, good point.
You're trying to tell me to remember which show Eddie had a match on when I've seen like hundreds of Eddie matches over the years.
Was that Berwyn? What was that?
No, that was Logan. That was
Logan.
Logan. Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Rob, let me ask you a deep down question. Did you chant "This is awesome" at that match? Did you do that whole thing with the?
I don't remember.
Be honest.
Actually.
Be honest.
I don't remember. I probably did. I mean, I probably did. I don't know. I probably yelled something. I know I had a couple beers, so
we know you were yelling for sure.
I was yelling. I know I was probably talking trash. Who knows?
Oh yeah, yeah. We've been around you. I saw you.
Yeah.
I saw you in Austin, Texas. When you kicked that horse and everything, it was nuts. That was bananas. You remember that?
It's not true.
That never happened. Okay. All right. Anyway, moving on here. So that was cool, dude. So it was a different approach to a film, though. It was very in depth. It wasn't just like a career overview documentary. It was like you got into this guy's head, and you really brought that out. So filming was done in Austin, Texas, correct? Most of the primary filming.
Yeah, the interview piece was, yeah.
How much AEW footage did you go back and watch?
Oh man, man, I did a lot of research. I probably pulled about 10 different shows, I would say.
Okay.
Ranging from his debut in 2013 all the way to 2019. So about 6 years worth of footage. I didn't pull all of it, but I got Mike to get me at least a couple from each year. I had a couple like when you win the championship twice and tag team, but I also wanted to see. I searched a lot of his promos on the AEW Pro YouTube channel, which a lot of them. If you guys ever want to get some history on AEW's or Eddie Kingston's run in AEW in the early stages, there's some promos up that are pretty phenomenal that you should check out because you could just binge on those all day and be be satisfied.
Nice. No, it was it's cool, man. Basil, I think, would you agree? To me personally, I was telling Rob, I think the three guys who shifted AAW during that one, like 2011, 12, 13 era, the three guys I think who were part of that shift was Silas Young,
Yep.
Michael Elgin, and Eddie Kingston. I think that they were the three guys who were part of that shift. Like Silas was that foot in the old generation and the progression into the new. Elgin brought that new style, that indie hard edge strong style, and then Kingston was part of this like new wave attitude phenomenon that was going on. And I think
We can't forget about Shane Hollister in that group as well.
Yeah. Shane Hollister definitely was. But see, he was that homegrown guy. He was like a transitioning piece into that new era because he didn't carry over into the new era at all.
No, he didn't carry over, but he was definitely a huge part of that bridge time that you were talking about.
Yeah.
And when I think of AAW back then, I definitely think of Silas. Because
Silas for sure.
Silas is, 100%. Eddie, when he came in, made an impact like right away. But Shane was always that anchor, in my opinion, during that time. Shane
needed another year, I think, during the shift. If Shane went into what would have been 2014, 15?
Because he started fading at the end of 14. And then
after he lost his belt, yeah.
Yeah, and then by the time Windy City Classic happened into 15, he was that's when we went from Ethan Page to Eddie, and then Sammy reintroducing himself to the Indies that day.
Yeah, that was a big Rob, if you ever get time, man, you should watch that era, man. Like that shift was very, very interesting.
And I also believe that Windy City Classic 2015 is the start of this current era that we're in.
Yeah, that's what fully embedded it into what we are today. And I think that's a very important show. For a lot of people don't realize it. It was a very, very important show.
Huge show. That was the first show at Logan Square. Was that's when we debuted the Lucha Brothers to the US besides Lucha Underground. I mean, there's so many things. That's when Sammy literally got released from WWE like 3 days before.
Yeah.
So it was a huge shock when he came back.
That was the first show that I was doing promotions for the company and leading up to that, but that was the first show that I was asked to come early and like actually be part of like call time crew. Like before I would just meet up mic, get posters, promote, and just walk into other shows and sit. This is the first time I was actually like crew was Windy City Classic. So big show for me too. Interesting, man. It was interesting. Rob, you should go check that show out. It was very important.
Definitely.
Who was Tommaso wrestling? Was that Phoenix or was that who did Tommaso wrestle? That was Phoenix.
He had the opener against Phoenix.
That's what it was.
And that's when he got that massive concussion and had to be on a flight.
Oh my god! Yeah, he had the flight to.
He broke his nose. He broke his nose.
Yeah. He had the flight to the UK.
Right, his wife was there and everything. She was was like, oh shit, and like literally.
That's when the ropes were kind of fucked up that day because Phoenix slipped twice that day.
Was that the one?
I don't know. That was the one where Phoenix kept slipping on the ropes, and that was like my first impression of Phoenix, and I was just like, I thought this guy is like supposed to be this like amazing megastar, and then it was just the ropes that were fucked up that day.
Let me read you guys the card of that show and just look at this Rob, I'll even to you.
So stacked. It's ridiculous, the star power.
This screams transition show. Transitioning from old to new. Like listen to this. Yeah, Phoenix versus Tommaso Ciampa. That was like a purely new generation. The second match was Marcus Crane and Shane Hollister versus Matt Cage and Tyson Dukes. Again, that old regime, right? Third match was Brett Kakia versus Buck Nasty versus CJ versus Connor Braxton versus Congo Kong versus Marion Fontaine. Again, like look at the peppering in of all these guys. Then it was ACH and Davey Vega Then it was the tag belts. It was the Hooligans.
Hooligans were champions.
And they were champions against OI4K. I forget the Hooligans had the belts. Then the Heritage title. Alex Shelley and Lewis Linden, who was champion. That's a name people don't even remember.
He actually just wrestled in the J-Lit in AIW.
He's great. I always love Lewis. He looked like President Obama. It was funny. Christian Faith against Gregory Iron. Chris Hero against Pentagon. And then it was Kingston versus Page versus Trevor Lee.
Dude, I mean, that started off the Hero Pentagon kind of feud that they had going on into the next summer.
What a damn show. This show screams that we're changing. This was the big changeover. It was so insane if you think about this show.
Do you know what's crazy is I completely forgot Trevor Lee was in that main event.
Yeah, I did too.
In my mind, it's always been Eddie Kingston and Ethan Page. And I was there.
Crazy, man. What a crazy time. I actually want to go back. I think I have this DVD. We should all check it out one day. We'll get together and watch this. I'd like to watch this again.
Or you guys at home can watch it on the AEW On Demand.
There we go. .com.
.com.
Just alley-oop that one. That was good. All right, worked out. All right. But yeah, man, that was interesting. So Rob, no, definitely hats off. This do we have any other plans? I mean, are you thinking anything else to push the film? I mean, it's only been a few days, I know, but it's already gotten a pretty nice buzz. Is there anything else filmmaker-wise? Like, what do you think you can do to this film? I think this film doesn't even necessarily have to appeal to wrestling fans. This is a life story.
Right.
I mean, is there anything else we can do with this film? Do you think we could put this out somewhere else, or can this go anywhere else?
I'm sure it could. I mean, I really haven't put much thought into it, but I'm sure we could. I mean, I think you can.
Sundance?
I mean, no. No.
I'm sure there's some kind of film festivals or something this can go into. I mean, this is a life story, man.
There's one in Chicago. It's not like I would say it's not like Sundance or anything, but I think it's like independent filmmakers that I think one of my buddies worked at. I mean, we could try to submit it there. Never know. I mean,
I think it's a good idea. I think it won't hurt to submit this. I think this is like anybody can get behind this. The reaction that I saw mostly from people was that this was an awesome life story. People weren't mentioning wrestling. I mean, he's not known to be some amazing wrestler. He's known to be a storyteller. Like, this dude is a compelling character as a person.
Right.
That could sell to anybody.
Yeah.
I think we should look into it, man. I think let's poll the people here. What do you guys think? Should we, listeners, should we expand on this? Would you guys support the idea of putting this into a bigger platform? I think I don't think anybody would say no. Yes.
I would support it.
Yes, thank you. You're not a listener, you're a host.
Damn it. I never get to do anything cool.
No, not anymore. You made a deal with the fucking devil to be in this business. You can't enjoy it anymore. It's unenjoyable to you anymore now. That's it.
I do want to, and because these are like, I try to mix film into a documentary piece, but I do want to make eventually, and I don't know how I'm going to do it as far as like because of time, but I do want to make a short film within AEW and kind of, use some of the talent to kind of do that. I have some ideas in my mind. It's just a matter of the logistics and getting enough time before the show to pull something off. But I think it'd be pretty cool to do like a 5-10 minute short of an actual, short film with no interview questions, but with the actual script and stuff like that. I think that would be pretty cool and something different that I don't think is being done right now.
Okay, cool. I think also another thing, we were talking. I think we mentioned it on the last episode was the crew idea you had that you're going to start doing next show.
Yeah.
What if just like you just started gathering, like you have the camera rolling, and you just start gathering. You just have it rolling, and let's say Brian walks by and you ask him a question, you get it on tape. I walk by, you ask me something, you get it on tape. Like just little shorts that you can just piece into something. You get quotes out of it, all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Just keep the camera rolling. Just keep that camera rolling.
All right.
Red light on.
You're gonna buy my memory cards?
Danny will buy the memory cards.
No, he won't.
Danny will.
I'm pretty loaded. I got like almost like 500. I mean, I got a lot. 500 gigabytes. I'm getting
Dude,
okay. I'm getting really technical right now.
I just had to buy I just had to buy the fourth.
What a dweeb.
I just had to buy the fourth 4 terabyte hard drive today.
Jesus.
That's what I'm on my fourth terabyte hard drive of footage as well.
Dude, it's insane. Like it pained me to go buy it today, and I was like, I don't want to, but I have all my SSDs. I have 2.5 terabytes of SSDs that are completely filled up that I have not backed up onto regular hard drives, and I literally did not have enough footage or had enough room to move the Freelance Underground show over onto a hard drive.
Well, you geeks successfully alienated the regular people listening to the show now. Thank you.
Fuck 'em.
Appreciate that. All right, cool. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to more, Rob. I'm excited. It's going to be a very interesting summer of filming and projects. So,
Yeah. Next
psyched
up,
for it, man.
we have the besties. So filmed some of that.
Mute button. Come on.
What?
He's
I
coughing random.
I
Mute
coughed,
button.
whatever.
Sorry, besties.
But yeah, besties. We did a. We started filming at Logan. I think we're gonna wrap it up at Bourbon Street on the 28th. So that should be coming out in I would say the first 2 weeks of July. And then
Nice.
we got a couple. I got a couple other ones on my list that I plan on knocking out at Bourbon. So it's gonna be a busy day at on the 28th for Never Say Die. Tickets available at aapro.com, aawpro.com.
That's right.
Um,
I'd like to poll the listeners. Who else would they like to see on the roster? Right? Like who's somebody that they'd like to see a story on? Is there somebody you've been wanting to know more about? Maybe Paco. There's a hashtag push Paco. Maybe they want to see Paco. Why not?
Yeah.
I think people would have some nice, interesting answers. I'm curious what people come back with. I'd like to see Danny and Mike. That'd be interesting. We've been trying to do that one though, Rob. We've been trying to get that one going. But God damn it.
We were close. We were close in Austin, man.
We were close, man. We almost had him in Austin.
But it was like 3 a.m, and I was like, I'm going to bed.
It was wild. It was wild.
Night owls over
here. Yeah, we stayed up a little longer. I forgot what we were talking about. Just talking.
Yeah.
It was. I was talking to you guys off the air about how I talked to Danny in this fatherly kind of way, like sitting under the learning tree. But I'm like, I forget that he's only like 4 years older than I am. I'm always trying to like impress him and make him proud.
You were eating B complex vitamins like they were M&Ms.
Oh, dude, all day. Peeing neon. It was great.
You can't go into Arturo's and call him dad,
No,
and then have the entire wait staff believe it.
Yeah, that worked for you. That was good. Come on, Dad. And then I go, that's your son?
Dad, can I get these tacos, please?
Shut the fuck up, dickhead.
You'll be grounded if you don't eat them all.
What's up, dude?
What's up?
Dadaroo.
How's the show?
That's the show.
Danny has a good thing. He comes up to you like midway through and he kind of looks at you and he's like, kind of leans in. He's like, how's the show? Good? Yeah? Good? What's been good? What's been bad? Good. Okay. Thanks. Like, gets the direct report. Then flutters off somewhere to like promoter room. I don't know where he goes, but he goes somewhere. But all right, so guys, let's talk. Like Basil, why don't you touch on your freelance stuff? I know you did that last week. Looked like a pretty big show. I just mentioned that quickly, and then I got another topic I want to bring up.
Yeah, Freelance had their 5-year show, the Freelance versus the World. Very fun show. I feel like that was a good turning point show for them. A lot of new talent got introduced. Something that I really liked that I saw. So we all know Bryce Benjamin. Trent, I know you do. Rob, you might not.
I didn't.
He used to be in AEW back in the day and
Way
walked
back
out.
in the
And walked out after his match. That was weird. He walked out like through the front door.
When did that happen?
Oh gosh, years ago. That's how he quit AEW. He like walked out middle match through the front door.
Wait, middle of the match?
Middle of the match. Middle or as soon as it was over.
Oh,
But
I don't think he would walk out in the middle of the match.
I believe it was something very, very strange. It was like I mean, everybody thought it was part of the storyline, but he legit quit by walking out of the building, like right as soon as the match was over or middle of the match. I forgot what it was. But
Crazy.
anyway, yeah,
Well,
I'll get the details again. I forgot about that.
he debuted this gimmick in Freelance. He's been using this gimmick at other places like Kaiju, I believe.
Mhm.
And this this Jesus Bryce gimmick where he looks possessed. His eyes are whited out. He has his mask. He has this following group with him. And he like walks out where he's like standing on the wrestlers. Like there's like these minions that are on the floor, and he's like walking across them as like the ramp. It was crazy, and that was one fun to shoot.
It looked very very happy. I got to give it to him that they did a great job with the aesthetic of the show. They have the custom mat and the apron.
Dude, the new mat they debuted was, oh my god. When they showed it, I was like, hell yeah.
It looks good. I got to give it to them that those things. Branding is huge. Perception's reality, and that did look good. And that's something that working for a competitor, I looked at like, it makes you want to up your game because it was something that it immediately gave them a credible aesthetic, and those little things help.
And now PWT's is an official sponsor of the show.
Weren't they
So
always official sponsor?
But like no, but they never like official.
Now it's like out there.
Now it's out there, so you have the PWT's ring apron with the freelance logo, and then you have all the crazy lighting. This guy Thomas does all the lighting for them for like the stage and all that stuff. So when it adjusts depending on like the wrestler, like Kylie had yellow lighting, Bryce had this like crazy purple lighting.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing I really love about freelance shows is that they are super fun and easy to photograph.
Nice.
So, but yeah, and then what was it? I'm sorry.
No, I was going to talk about. I mentioned the lighting. And Rob, this is for you too. As the guys with cameras, lighting is huge. I hate the lighting in Logan Square. I think it's too dull.
It's the worst.
And actually,
I can't stand it.
Do you know why? Do you know why it's the worst?
Because it's like just warm light, warm bulbs, or whatever.
Well, this is okay. So Logan it's like a beige brown building.
Mm-hmm.
So you already have that drabby color. Then we have yellow light bulbs that are like halfway lit. They're not actual lighting. So like yes when you go into the building, it's well lit. You can see everything. But the problem is none of that light reflects onto the wrestlers. So when you're trying to film or you're trying to photograph, it looks drabby. And then the problem is we use red and blue lights in the back, and when that mixes together, it becomes this like maroon purple, and then that bounces off the brown walls, so it just becomes brown when it bounces.
Yeah,
for light to work properly, it needs to bounce off something.
Rob, on video, does that affect your video too? I know.
If
photos does.
Just watch a trailer from Logan compared to Bourbon, and what a lot of it is in film and everything. Lighting is what makes everything cinematic. You know what I mean? And
for example, the Swerve video that he shared with Effie's entrance from Freelance.
Yeah, because you got like fog is used a lot in pro wrestling, especially if you look at a lot of the promotions like Defy and even Freelance, but they have fog with, it's blacked out, but then they have the spotlights on the ring, and then all the colors that are coming off of the entrance is bouncing off that fog, is kind of giving that cinematic. So when you see it on film or even on photos, like it just gives that cinematic look to it, because all that light is bouncing off that fog, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That's tough, man. That's got to be really annoying as camera guys. It's like, what the hell do you do? How do you better those shots? I mean, it requires a lot of editing, post production.
So much editing.
That
For me,
sucks.
I'm color correcting, and a lot of it is like I'm never
Really.
happy with the color correction that I do, and I try to do like film style color correction, but it's still it's tough. I get the if you're there as a fan, it looks cool because it kind of has that vibe of like Monday Night Raw when it first started, like that kind of old building. You know what I mean, with those type of lights and everything. But as far as trying to put a product digitally out there, like filming it or taking photos, it's a very difficult building to shoot in
Yeah, that's
with
tough.
those lights. With those lights.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, it really does require. I mean, what Freelance has done, they got their own rig. Now, what do they, Basil? What do they have? They have four around each corner, or they just have two spotlights? What are they using?
So they use the four spotlights,
Hmm.
and then they supplement those lights. They have LEDs on. They have two sets of LEDs underneath those, so it's super well lit. They use the LEDs to change colors for entrances and stuff like that, but then they go white. Um, they go white for the matches, and I'm just saying, like, I can edit more photos in less time for freelance than I can for AAW,
Right.
because I literally just white balance. I don't have to color correct at all. The only time I ever spend time color correcting is when I'm working on the entrance shots, because I always like to make the entrance shots at freelance have like a different vibe to it. If you've ever
Hmm.
seen the albums or anything like that,
Right.
um, because I've just noticed a lot of the wrestlers gravitate towards those, and they don't look standard. So I just continue to do that. But there's only a handful of entrance shots. I do one for each wrestler, sometimes two, especially at freelance, because our hard camera spot is way different, or not way different, but their entrance is on the hard camera side. So they're walking down and then they pose towards hard camera, and it's really easy to get shots from behind.
Hmm.
So I'll have a wrestler posing towards hard camera, and now it looks even cooler because you have the freelance logo underneath it.
Gotcha.
So
Man.
you have the buildings, um, that second level.
Hmm.
I'm trying to, what's the word for it? Um,
Balcony?
balcony. Sorry. You have the balcony in the background. You have spotlights going down. The freelance logo is lit up. There's all these crazy colors going on. It's really well done.
Nice. Now, did they debut all this at this last show, or what? I mean, the lights
No,
I know they've had.
they've been building up. Oh, what, the ring?
The ring, the apron, all that stuff, and so the
Ring and
additional lighting.
the ring and the apron are new, but they've been building up every show. Has had more and more lighting for, like, I would say the last 6 7 months. Everything ever since they did the stage, and they moved away from the normal entrance where we have our entrance at.
Mm-hmm.
When they started moving towards the stage, that's when all the production started going more and more. Like, the production's so high there now that I had to use an extension cord to get power from the other part of the building because we were drawing too much power from one side of the building.
Who handles all their production? Is that all just ring crew? Like who's doing their production?
So it's this guy named Thomas. He's done work at Warrior Wrestling as well.
Okay.
Um, but he's been doing all this stuff, and he's a huge fan and wants to make everybody's entrance look as cool and as big as possible. And he has fog, he has lighting, colors, different motions and stuff like that, depending on the wrestler's music.
Gotcha. Now he's like the how big is their production team? They got a pretty big team.
It's a huge crew that's setting up and breaking down, and then he's the one who's manning it all.
Gotcha. So what's Thomas's background? Let's hear. Like, I mean, we're always interested in production people. Is he a Chicago guy? Has he worked for, or did he debut with these guys? Did he come out with them? Like with freelance? Is he a freelance guy?
Who, me?
No, Thomas. Did he like start with them?
He's been with them for as long as I can remember.
But he didn't work for anybody else previously?
Not really. I mean, I know he does work with Warrior, and then he does work with Freelance, but he doesn't do Black Label. He might do Zello, but I don't know.
Gotcha.
So
interesting, man. Cool. I mean, what they've done, I gotta say, what they've done in recent in this last year has been pretty impressive. I'd like to definitely know more about how they've put that together. I mean, that's a pretty good team they got. That's all on board with that. Now, is it? I imagine what. So the owner's what? Is it Nick's? Is he 100% owner, or who else owns this?
I believe Nix is now the full owner because he had a partner, but he went to Philly.
Gotcha.
And then he's the one who writes the shows and he runs the shows and all that stuff. So, and doing the booking.
But Pro Wrestling Tees doesn't have any ownership. I could have sworn I thought they had.
I don't know for a fact to say if they have any ownership or not.
I always thought they did. I don't know.
They might, but I don't know. I can't speak on that because I don't know the answer.
Gotcha. Cool, man. Sounds good. So, and then you did, what is it, like 2 days? Underground's the next day? Is that how it works?
Yeah, so this show, dude, okay, the only downside about this freelance show is it went until freaking 1 a.m.
Jesus.
Oh my, I didn't get home until like 2:15, 2:30, and I had to be at work at 9.
I was asleep for 5 hours then.
You silly goose.
Yeah,
You
we all felt it the next day, and then there was a freelance underground show. That was a good show because it went by really fast. I think it was like 2.5 hours was the runtime, which is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But the standout from that show for me is Mark Wheeler versus Isaiah Velasquez. That was such a good match.
Gotcha.
I'm a big fan of Mark Wheeler. I feel like he's untapped. He's out of Canada. Wrestles a lot at Superkicked and Alpha One in Canada, and then he does like freelance. He does Black Label once in a while, I believe. But yeah, so
I could have sworn Mark Wheeler has done a explosion match or something. Is he on TV? Am I remembering this right?
No TV.
No TV? Name sounds so familiar, like I've seen him before. Maybe not.
Yeah, and then Isaiah is always talented. I mean, I'll never stop singing the praises of Isaiah.
That's your boy, man. That's your
Dude,
boy.
He's good people. He's a great wrestler. I really feel like if he didn't have that injury somewhere, that injury at Gali like a year ago.
What was the injury?
He took a freaking pile driver to the outside and cracked his neck.
He cracked his neck?
Holy shit. Dude, he broke his neck. And
how old is this guy?
Isaiah, I think he's like 20.
Jesus.
27 or 28 maybe.
Broken freaking neck.
Yeah,
God
dude.
Damn.
He was in a hospital bed, all that stuff. So
God
I
damn.
really feel like if that didn't happen, he would have been signed somewhere by now. He needs to be signed somewhere. He's way too talented to just be on the indies.
Damn.
Like he needs to be on TV.
Well, we'll see. We'll see where he ends up. I mean, people are getting signed like at a clip here, so we'll see how this goes. But cool, man. Very nice. Very nice. So what do we got? So guys, we have AEW Never Say Die coming up next. That's going to be on the 28th. That date was moved from the 29th to the 28th. So that threw me off. I had plans on the 28th. I have to leave the show early to attend those plans.
What do you got?
I got Nurse Nicole is doing a huge improv show at Second City. That's her big show, and I was planning to be there, so I got to be there because our show was originally the 29th.
Yeah.
So we had to move it, so I had to leave the show slightly early. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do breakdown and stuff. So and the after party, but we'll do it in Milwaukee. We're gonna reign supreme in Milwaukee. What should we do? We should all stay in Milwaukee. I'd like to stay in Milwaukee.
I'm a
Is
fan
that
of Milwaukee.
wait, that's a Friday show?
Yeah.
Milwaukee's a Friday show, yeah.
No, yeah, I can't stay. I'm not gonna take a day off of work from Milwaukee.
I'm
tear
off
it
on
up.
Friday, Trent. So
Oh yeah, me too. Right? Tell the boss, man, I'm leaving early. All my, it's funny. My bosses know Rob, and they watch your video. Like my one boss knows you from back in the day, Rob, and he watches your video. He's like, man, I was watching that video. It was crazy. Who was that gangster guy?
That's funny.
I was like, actually, that guy's a priest, and he was talking about his life. He became a pro wrestler after being a priest. Like, that guy's a priest? Like, no. But very supportive of me leaving early to work.
Speaking of priests, you hear about what Cracker Barrel did to that shitty ass priest?
What?
It was like, so
No.
that priest or pastor or whatever who was like saying like gay people should be killed and all that shit. He
When was
walked
this?
in. It happened like there was like the video earlier this week. He walked into a Cracker Barrel and Cracker Barrel said, "Get fucked."
Wow, really?
Yeah, it was
Cracker
the
Barrel.
greatest. That's why Cracker Barrel is the official food of choice when we're on the road.
I love Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel's the best.
It's the best damn restaurant. My favorite restaurant.
Never had it.
I had whoa.
What? Never had it.
No,
Really?
come on.
You didn't get Cracker Barrel with us when
No.
oh wait, you didn't
We've had this conversation. He didn't go with us.
No.
We need to pop your Cracker Barrel cherry.
I make my own breakfast.
You're such a fuck.
I mean, he did when we were in that. That's what I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, weren't you in? It was when you were in Austin. That's
You
when
guys,
we made
you guys gotta taste the Robbie fillet, man.
Robbie Filet.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Robbie E gimmick.
Robbie Filet.
No, you know Bobby Flay. That's Robbie
Yeah.
Fillet is my gimmick, and I like talk like him. Yeah. When I cook, it's good. It's good Snapchat
Robbie
content.
Filet.
It was yeah, I guess it is, Rob. Let's go with that.
Yeah, check out your Snapchat, and you'll see it's on there today.
You sent me a snap of your filet.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
take
a sidebar.
All right, I'm gonna do something crazy. I'm gonna do it live. We'll do it live. You didn't send me a Snapchat. I don't have a Snapchat.
It's
from you.
on the story, man.
You didn't send me direct. I gotta go in the story. What am I, some bum? Hang on. Hold on, Rob. Now, oh shit.
Robbie Filet's back. Cooking some chicken fajitas. Still got it, baby. All right, Robbie Filet's back. Cooking some chicken fajitas. Still got it, baby.
Holy shit, that looks delicious.
I know. I could whip up some food, man. Especially if I start talking like Robbie Fillet, it's game over, man.
Why don't you plug your Snapchat and have people follow so they can watch that?
That's the first time I done it in like 6 months.
Rob, come on, you're lying. Your Snapchat's amazing. It's like you in the bathroom, like taking a shit. And you're like, hey, what's up, guys? This is Rob. I'm in the office right now, thinking about movie ideas. What's going on?
You're an idiot.
So Rob and I used to work together. For those who don't know,
3 months.
we'd be on Messenger, and I'd say like obnoxious things to him, and he would just reply with, "You're an idiot."
The best is when we were messaging Rob and he was about to like do like some sort of meeting, and we just like were just texting him the most random shit, and he goes, "Guys, please do not message me. I'm in this fucking meeting." And we were like, "Dude, Trent, text him like how much like how big his hog is or some shit like that." And he was so freaked out because he thought it was gonna show up on his presentation.
Yeah, that was a big presentation.
Yeah, big hog.
Now I bet you wish you did it now that you left.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
What the hell would have been a great way to go out, Rob?
Yeah.
Fuck
You know,
this shit, I'm out.
guys, the quarterly results are in. I got a big hog compared to that chat that just came through, everybody. That's right. I quit. Throw your computer, walk out. It's kind of almost what you did.
Yeah.
You pissed on your desk and then you walked out, but you're like,
I was professional, you know.
you were. I think you even brought dessert for your because you felt bad about
Yeah.
quitting.
I did actually.
Hey guys, I'm sorry I'm quitting on you after screwing me over. Here's some fucking carrot cake. Good stuff. Good time. Rob, I miss you at work. I really gotta say. But I've been watching Breaking Bad at lunch now that you left me alone.
Wait, you're watching Breaking Bad right now?
For the first time.
For the first time? Dude, I've actually been rewatching it. I actually posted a picture because I was watching it and Nate was really upset that I wasn't watching Boy Meets World. But I was like, I just kind of want to watch something like not family friendly at all.
That's the show to do it, I guess.
Well,
That's
what season are you on?
Guys,
What?
Yes.
you could talk about Game of Thrones. You could talk about Breaking Bad, but you got to watch Mr. Robot. Now that's the show. I don't watch shows, but that's the show you guys need to be talking about.
Wait, okay, I love Mr. Robot. Don't get me wrong, but how dare you disrespect Breaking Bad? That is literally no. You listen.
Whoa.
That is literally the best written show on cable TV from start to finish. Not a bad season, not a bad
Jesus.
episode.
I
Really?
still think Mr. Robot is great. It's written great and it's filmed great. It's just great.
I
You know?
love Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot's an amazing show,
I've never seen it.
but Breaking
Check it
Bad
out.
is the fucking GOAT.
I'm on season 2, I think episode 12.
Oh, I actually just got past that a few days ago.
I'm on an episode where he meets some guy in a chicken restaurant who apparently is a kingpin drug lord.
Yeah, buddy, dude, you wait until you. I can't. I don't want to tell you what.
No,
episode the
don't tell me
payoff
anything.
is. I'm not gonna tell you what. But dude, the payoff with this character. Oh, dude, when it happens, I fully expect you to text me.
All right, I'll let you know. Cool, man. All right, well, let's wrap it up, boy. I think we got some good stuff. Next week we'll go thick because we'll be leading into the show, so we'll break down the show next week. Today was just a general chat around. We had the movie come out.
We can't record on Wednesday next week.
Well, we're not giving away our inside details to the listeners. The listeners don't have time for our scheduling problems.
I'm just
okay?
saying I have a Cubs game next week.
All right, well, maybe we'll do Thursday. All right, everybody, it'll be a late release leading into Friday's show. But listen on your way to the show. Maybe we'll do it Tuesday. How about that?
Maybe.
All right. Well, we'll aim for that. We'll aim to get this out to the people with enough time. Dude, the preview shows do great. Our post shows are our best shows. Everybody loves those. They love the wrap-ups. So as long as we get the wrap-up out in time, that's good for the people. But they like the lead-ins too. We get the previews. The previews are good. So we'll try to nail it out enough time. We were off for goddamn 27 days prior to last week. I mean, we really tortured the listeners here, Basil. We're trying to win them back. We need timely results now.
Hey, that's why I'm saying it now.
Good call. All right. Acceptable.
I'm staying ahead of the curve.
All right. Good stuff. All right. Let's get some plugs and
upcoming events. Dude, that's funny how we said that at the same time.
Wrong podcast. Podcast. Wrong
Pat.
one. All right.
From a studio apartment.
Does he still do that?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so. All right, Rob, where can people find you and your films?
Twitter is the Polish Rob. Instagram is the #1 Polish Rob, and then on YouTube, if you go to AAW Pro, you will find that we have a playlist of all the stuff that I've done, and then also if you want to go back in the archives and see some old Eddie Kingston promos or some old matches with Tommaso Ciampa, we have him on that. And then if you also want to go back in history, go on AAWOndemand.com.
Beautiful. Can I ask a
Really
question here?
quick,
Oh, go
Rob. Oh, you asked the question first. We're gonna start drilling Rob right now.
All right. On Instagram, was the Polish Rob
This
taken?
is I swear to God, this is the exact same question I was gonna
I'll
ask.
tell you what, I've, you know, that's funny. And let me tell you the
Beautiful, Rob.
story here. This is actually an interesting story, and I'm really irritated about it.
Who do we need to kill and where did it?
When I started to try to make everything uniform on my social media because I use social media so much, which is not true. Uh, like I got the Twitter, and then I went on Instagram, and some guy that's name is Robert something has two photos. The last time he posted was in 2013. Had the audacity to take the username the Polish Rob. Are you kidding me? The guy doesn't even look Polish.
He's probably not Polish. Probably Czechoslovakian.
He's got
You said on Twitter or Instagram it's the Polish Rob.
28 followers and 6 following.
Oh, what a cock!
What a
cock.
I'm gonna report this profile.
Report him for being a fraud. His last post was November 27th, 2013.
Yeah.
What an asshole, man.
Of snow.
Hey, I just reported that it's spam.
Did you?
I swear to God. I swear to God on my mother's soul that I just reported that profile as spam.
How do I transfer all that stuff?
Hold on. Just to prove to you guys real quick.
Yeah.
Because you guys know me and I love. But dude, look at ZMT real quick.
Right on. It's really.
What a clown.
I swear to God, I reported it as spam. So I think if all of us reported as spam.
Let's do it. I'm down.
Honestly, I really don't care, but.
No, yes, you do. The fact that you knew all this.
I post probably once a month.
Well, we need to change that.
Yeah. We're gonna take this guy down. But,
he probably doesn't even know the password to this shit.
No way.
Yeah,
I mean, it's been 6 years since that guy has posted.
Shouldn't there be like a statute of limitations with social media profiles?
I always think like if you don't post in a year, you should be up for grabs.
No, I don't think a year. I think like 3 is fair.
3 for sure. Maybe dude, even 2 at that point. Come on.
2 or 3 years, but I think like if like you're at 6, like 5 years, come on, like your profile should be deactivated.
Like you're done. You're clearly not coming back. Like come on.
We should message the guy, be like, yo, dude, can you just like change your profile to something stupid?
Well, you know what? Let's use the power. Let's use the power of the BSB listeners. Hey guys, go to the Polish Rob on Instagram and report that bitch. Let's take him down.
Yeah, all of our Instagram followers can go.
Well, all of our followers and listeners can do it. We got some.
I just followed that Instagram page.
Which one?
You're such a troll.
BSB.
Oh, we don't have one.
No, he followed.
Oh, really? It must be a parody account or something then.
He followed the Backstreet Boys.
Oh, that's.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Oh, Lord.
Shit. I thought it was ready. Is it ready yet?
No, we're not there yet.
Okay.
We're not at that part.
Wait for the cue, man.
Oh, man, I'm screwing this up, huh?
Your plugs are done. All right, Basil, where can people find you?
I don't know. Somewhere on the internet, I guess. No. Twitter and Instagram is @BZ. That's a B, 2 E's, 4 Z's, and a Y. And then my website is basilmahmood.com. BASILMAHMUD.com. And where could they find you, Trent?
You guys can find me at Vanilla Joke on Instagram and Twitter. Connect with me there, or Hemi Music on Instagram and Twitter as well. And you can find this show at The BSB Show on Facebook and Twitter. Just type in The BSB Show or search The Backstage Boys Podcast. It'll come right up. We're also on YouTube. Type in The Backstage Boys Podcast. Look for us there. Remember, if you subscribe on YouTube, you get this podcast about half a day earlier than you would on your iTunes feeds. So check that out. Please subscribe. Side note, Basil, those numbers have been really popping lately, which is nice. YouTube was such a secondary thing for us to start late in the podcast being. We want back catalog them, put everything. So I like every week we get some more listeners on our subs on the YouTube and listeners. So that's cool. And also the Instagram is that ready yet, Basil? It's been a few weeks. Is that ready?
I've had a lot of photos to edit, so next week.
Next week it is for the Instagram. So I don't know what the hell you follow, Rob, but next week it is for the Instagram.
I'm looking for it now. I'm about to unfollow it.
All right, good.
It's ridiculous.
You guys can find this
it's
show.
okay that you like the Backstreet Boys.
Well, you guys can find this show wherever podcasts are found: Apple, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, and Spotify. Don't forget to connect, rate, review, subscribe. Tell a friend, tell your grandmother, tell somebody who works for a wrestling company you don't like, to listen.
Hey, do you hate your current wrestling position right now? Well, listen to this shit.
Listen to these bastards, So yeah, tell somebody. Competition's good.
Oh, today is just a slap happy episode.
Whoever's still listening, thank you.
Thank you very much. Rate, review, subscribe. Basil, we've reached enough listeners on iTunes where they recommend other popular podcasts under ours, which is cool.
Everybody that is listening, smash that thumbs up button if you hear this.
Smash that like button. Yeah.
Smash the thumbs up button. Share, like, and subscribe. Let's get these numbers up. One of the best podcasts that we've done to date.
Oh shit! What do we do to deserve that? Look at Rob. Unbelievable.
I'm just overtired. I'm just ready for this to be over.
All right, sounds like a plan, guys. Thank you very much for listening to this slap happy episode. We will connect with you next week with a breakdown of Never Say Die. Until then,
never say die.
Never say die.
God bless.
See ya.
Bye.